Wow, Pritam Singh discussing Singapore politics with foreigners there.
The PAP has raised questions about leader of the opposition Pritam Singh's decision to share his views on Singapore politics with a Malaysian podcast. Politics should stop at the water's edge, with domestic affairs debated on and decided by Singaporeans in Singapore, said the ruling party in a statement on July 3rd. PAP criticized WP's Pritam Singh for discussing Singapore politics on a Malaysian podcast, questioning why he chose a foreign platform for domestic issues. They cited Chiam Si Tong on patriotism. WP responded that there's no legal constraint on Singh's freedom of speech, and that PAP also engages with foreign media. They highlighted positive local reception to the podcast. PAP raised concerns about WP's past interactions with a Malaysian-based religious teacher and endorsements from Malaysian politicians, questioning WP's commitment to multi-racialism.
Of the pulse of Singaporeans, and then your message has to.
I remember we sat down a couple of years ago and we had coffee in Singapore. I asked you a very simple question. I said, Pritam, do you see yourself as an alternative Prime Minister to Lee Hsien Loong? And your answer, I'm paraphrasing here and correct me if I'm wrong, basically you said no. I see myself as a strong opposition. My goal is to make sure I get to 30%. Do you think that there was a lack of ambition? Do you think you should pivot away from that 1/3 into saying that, we represent actually something completely different and we're ready for it? And the supplementary question to that is that why did you not leave Aljunied?
Right.
The general should fight outside of the bunker.
Firstly, I wouldn't.
Okay. This almost 2 hours long session was filmed while Pritam Singh and his family was holidaying in Malaysia and was uploaded on YouTube on June 24. Voila.
Do you think that there was a lack of ambition? Do you think that there was a lack of ambition? Do you think
say that Aljunied is a bunker? The reality is we are the opposition in Singapore. There are no safe seats for us. And there's no safe bunker. Anything can change. And before you know it, you are at the forward edge and you've got to fight your battle there. In terms of strategy, where we go, why we go here or there, I won't say too much about that. But what I would say is the point about ambition which you make, and again, I can understand it, but I have to have a good finger on the pulse of Singaporeans. I've got to understand what they want. And I've got to understand how they respond to language which reflects ambition. If that language is not in sync with their broad understanding of what they want out of politics in Singapore, then ambition can be a death knell for any politician in Singapore. And as I alluded to earlier, if we accept that Singaporeans are pragmatic, and there's no demand for a change of government, then going out there with flying a flag which says, I'm your Prime Minister in waiting, is probably, with respect, an act of foolishness, in my view at least. To succeed in opposition politics in Singapore, in my humble opinion, in my view, of course, and my friends from the other opposition parties may feel differently about this, is if you do your house visits week in, week out, if you're on the ground week in, week out, you will have an excellent assessment of the pulse of Singaporeans. And then your message has to anchor itself to that.
Okay. PAP is concerned about the Workers' Party's interaction with the Malaysian-based religious teacher and endorsement from the Malaysian politician questioning Workers' Party commitment to multi-racialism. So this is what now Pritam Singh is trying to explain.
Add to what has been already shared by way of the media statement this morning. What had happened was one of our Muslim committee members in one of the mosques in Aljunied wanted to speak to Mr Faisal and to the Malay members of the party. And what happened was the meeting was supposed to take place with some ustazas and senior Malay Muslim religious leaders. There was no indication that this individual would be joining the meeting. So when the meeting started, he was there. And my understanding is he had this list of demands, and of course, as our statement makes it quite clear, there's no situation of if the WP pushes forward this agenda, I will support you. I'm sorry, we don't work politics like that in Singapore. We don't work politics like that in the Workers' Party. People have views. I think government officials, even ministers meet with various members of religious groups in Singapore. So do we. And if this gentleman thinks that his advocacy will lead to the issues being brought up by the Workers' Party, I think he's sadly mistaken. As I have alluded to in earlier doorstops, Faisal is a representative of the Malay Muslim community. He is contesting in Tampines. I think the mainstream media have already highlighted the number of Malay voters in Tampines. But quite frankly, Faisal is not, or none of our Malay Muslim candidates are MPs or will be MPs or are candidates for only their community. I mean, this is Singapore, it's a multi-racial society, so every candidate has to represent all Singaporeans equally and fairly. And beyond that, this is our approach that we take. Insofar as the strategy to place candidates, I think that's our prerogative, where we want to put our team, which has the highest chance of success. And if the illusion is we have put Faisal there, and that's something wrong that we've done, I don't accept that. I think the Ministry of Home Affairs and ELD have put together a message, and I stand behind that message. Our political scene is for our people. We persuade Singaporeans proposition, and we urge all Singaporeans, regardless of race, language or religion, to judge us on our manifesto and our proposals and what we do in Parliament for all Singaporeans, not specific communities only. I think once we go down that road, you're going to have an unnecessary politicization of the public space, and we don't want that. We cannot be a successful political party if we play the race and religion card. Our approach is pan-Singaporean, all races, all religion. This is what we advance to you, and we will be fair to everybody, and we will listen to everybody's.
Hello friend, we come to the end already. Haven't subscribed yet? Yes, press the subscribe button and the like button and the share button. Thank you and have a nice day.